Okay, in our last lesson, we talked about what was it that we talked about? Alaikum salam. Hello. Hi, Selma. How are you today?
Fine, and you?
I'm okay, thanks. Yeah, small talk, exactly. So we talked about small talk.
To begin and to converse.
Yeah, so small talk is, you know, how to start a conversation. It's like meeting people for the first time, or maybe the second time. So, or if you meet someone in a meeting or in a party or in maybe some social or special occasion, something like that. So, this was how you can talk to them. So, you can ask questions, for example, like, do you know Michael? Do you know Ahmed? Do you know Fatima? Do you know Nijat? Do you know? So you can use this question, of course, so you can see the friends in common. Maybe you have the same friends. Maybe you have the same relatives, right? Maybe you're a relative of another relative. The same thing, where are you from? Whereabouts in Libya? So are you from Tripoli? Are you from Benghazi? Are you from Strasbourg? Are you from whatever? So this is the question, whereabouts. You can ask this question. Are you a friend of Ahmed? Are you a friend of Selma? What do you do? What's your job? So all of these are common questions that people ask when they meet someone for the first time. So this is the idea here. So we talked about that. And after that, we also did the exercise. Alaykum salam. Hello, Abdullah. How are you today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm all right, thanks. So we talked about that. We also talked about how to end the conversation. It was nice to meet you. We should get together sometime. See you later. It's great to see you again. You know, these kind of sentences or phrases are very useful to end the conversation in a nice way, in a polite, of course, in a polite way. So we did that. And we also talked about this very interesting sound, the schwa sound, a very common sound. I think it's quite important, to be honest, in phonetics in English. It's quite important because this sound is not stressed, and you can find it a lot in unstressed syllables. So it's a common sound. It's also very common in the weak forms of auxiliaries. So you can find it in the weak form of have, can, kun, was, so where, were. So you can find this in all these auxiliaries in the weak form. So we talked about this. So it says here, look again, match the words with a schwa in the final syllable to these endings. All right, here, we finished number 2, but we didn't do number 3. So this is the last exercise in the schwa part. Now, if you notice the schwa sound, it comes in in many different words or with different spelling. So it's different in different ways. I mean, it's different in different words. The sound, of course, is the same. The spelling is not. So, for example, you can hear the schwa sound here in this one. Let me show you. Like the AL. So hospital, this is the AL. So hospital, this sound, this is a schwa sound. We can sometimes even find it in this spelling.
السلام عليكم دكتور.
Alaikum salam. Hello, Suhaib, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. So the question is, I want you to look for words where we used the schwa for these, for words which had these endings. So AL in hospital. What about EN? In which word did we find a schwa in EN? Who can find it from this box? We want a word that ends with EN and has a schwa sound. I think that's quite easy, right? Can you find it? Who can find it?
Often.
Yes, exactly. So often has,
Open.
yeah, exactly. Often has a schwa sound in
And
the end.
open.
Open also. Open, very good. Correct. What about words which end with ER, which have the schwa sound?
Never.
Commuter.
Commuter and never. Correct. Never.
Teenager.
Manager. Manager. What is manager?
Teenager.
Teenager. Teenager.
Teenager.
Teenager. Doctor with an O. Doctor. Yeah. Doctor. Doctor with an OR. What else with
Actor.
OR? Actor. Correct.
Actor.
Yeah.
Question.
Director.
Director. Question. Question has ON, not OR. But correct in the ION, like Selma said, question. ION, this is a schwa sound. Question. What else?
Competition.
Competition.
Station.
Yeah.
Station.
Station. Where is station? Correct, Abdullah. Yeah, station also has a schwa sound in the end. What else? Okay, and the last one, the letter A in the end, words like
Cinema.
cinema. What else?
Multinational.
Yoga.
Multinational is the first sound.
Festival.
Banana. The AL, this is for hospital and festival and
Multinational.
multinational. Yoga, very good with the A. Yoga. Correct. So the point of this exercise, الفكرة كلها يبغوا يوصلوها لكم أن راهو ما تنخدعوش بالسبيلينج. يعني رغم أن هذم اللي يبانوا لكم يعني الحروف ما لهمش علاقة ببعض في ظاهرهم، لكن في بعض الكلمات يعطوك نفس الصوت بالضبط اللي هو صوت شوا sound. Alright, so this is the idea. يعني علاقة الساوند والspelling مش علاقة ثابتة. Alright, so we can move on. So we talked enough about schwa, I think. So in this lesson, we're going to read about a very interesting story, the story of this man, Harlan Sanders. His name is Harlan Sanders, and he's the man who likes KFC, by the way. Well, who doesn't like KFC, I mean? Is there anybody who doesn't like KFC?
No, I don't.
I don't think so. I don't think that there is anybody who doesn't like KFC. So it's very famous. KFC, I think, is very famous. Everybody knows it, and I think most people like it. Maybe not everybody, but I think most people like it. So here we have a few questions about fast food companies in our country. Okay, so the first question is it says here, what fast food companies are there in your country, and what food do they sell? Who can you think of some famous
Latino.
Sorry, Latino?
Yes.
Yeah, Latino is new, right? It's not very old.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe 2 years, 3, I think. Not more. Okay, so in Tripoli here, Latino, there's Latino.
Kodo.
Kodo?
Yes.
Yes, Kodo. Do you have Kodo in Sabha?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so Kodo is always quite famous here in Libya. What else? What other companies that sell fast food in Libya? What about Shnabu, I think? It's quite popular now, right?
Right.
Do you have Shnabu in Benghazi, Hana?
Yes.
Yes? Interesting. Okay. Do you have Diyafa in Benghazi? Diyafa?
No.
No. What about you, Abdullah? Do you have ضيافة? You have ضيافة in Sabha?
Yes,
Interesting. Okay. So, so these are examples, I think, of some fast food companies. But what do they sell? Who can tell me some of the things they sell?
Burger and cheeseburger.
Burgers,
Fast food.
cheeseburger, fast food in general, right?
Wow.
Yeah. They also sell fried chicken. Some of them
Pizza.
pizza. Some of them sell pizza. Correct. Okay. Yeah. The second question I think is quite important here. What do you think are the good things and the bad things about fast food? Who can tell me? Who can talk about the good things first before we talk about the bad things?
The good, delicious
Correct.
food, fast delicious. Bad fast food, unhealthy.
Correct.
Unhealthy, yes.
Yeah, this is the real
But
problem.
when you don't have a time, it's a big solution.
It's a great solution. Yeah, when you're in a hurry or you're late for work or you need to do something,
Or tired
or
or
if you're tired,
sick or
Easy
whatever.
to get.
Whatever better.
yeah, and if you don't want to cook and if you don't want to, you just buy a burger or a pizza or something, right? And also, I think you forgot the most important thing about fast food.
I think all the teenagers like this food.
All teenagers like fast food. I think even most adults like fast food too, not just teenagers, I think. I think almost everybody likes fast food.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's another important thing, another good thing about fast food. This.
Good.
This is the most important thing about fast food.
Yes.
It's fast, right? So if you go to a fast food restaurant, usually you order something, especially in big restaurants like KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, these big companies. Usually you don't wait more than maybe 5 minutes, right? So you just pay and they'll give you your tray. You have your chicken.
And you can call phone it and deliver it.
Exactly. You can also have.
The food delivered to you.
That's right. Yes, you can just call them, and they'll deliver it to your home. So this is a great advantage, right? This is another good thing I think about fast food. But of course, the bad thing is it's unhealthy, right? But why is it unhealthy? Who can tell me?
Yes.
Expensive.
Including a lot of oil.
It has a lot of fat. Yes, it's fatty or oily. Correct? It has lots of oil. Sorry?
Sugar. More sugar.
Sugar?
Yes.
Do
cola.
And if you want to talk about cola, correct? Yeah, cola and soft drinks like 7-Up, Coca-Cola, they've got lots and lots of sugar, so that's also not good for you. Hannah, you said they're expensive.
Learn a lot of money.
Okay.
It's acceptable for Latin and acceptable, I think.
I think if you compare it to the price of food that you can cook at home, yes, I agree, Hannah. I think they're expensive because with 10 dinars to buy a sandwich, for example, you can buy rice, you can buy tomatoes, you can buy a salad, you can buy potatoes, maybe not potatoes, but you can buy lots of things. Not a lot, but I think you can make more food at home with 10 dinars than just a sandwich, right? 10 dinars can buy you a full chicken, right? Maybe 12 or 11, I'm not sure. What's the price of chicken today? Is it 9 dinars, 8 dinars kilo chicken?
I think 10.
10 now? Not the sandwich. I'm talking about chicken from the supermarket.
Yes.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, so
Around that.
a kilo, you can buy a kilo of chicken with the price of one sandwich, right? In fast food. So this means fast food, it is more expensive than eating at home, of course. But if you compare fast food to real restaurants in the UK, in Europe, and in America, of course, fast food is a lot cheaper, right? Because, for example, in Italy or in Spain or in the UK or any of these countries, if you go to a real restaurant, it's much more expensive. Maybe you'll pay from 50 to 100 euros for one person if you want to eat a real meal. But in fast food, maybe 6 euros, 7 euros, you can have a big burger and cola and chips, right? So I think, yes, it depends how you compare it. Now, number 3, let's see someone's opinion here, someone who eats. Let's see Suhaib here. How often do you eat fast food? How often do you go to a fast food restaurant, Suhaib?
I think once a month.
Once a month. So you don't you don't eat a lot of fast food.
Yes.
Interesting. And what do you usually have when you go?
Pizza.
Just pizza. You don't have hamburgers or no shawarma, no chicken?
No.
No. Okay. So just pizza. Interesting. Let's see someone else. What about you, Hannah? How often do you go to fast food? To a fast food restaurant?
Twice a week.
Twice a week. Twice a week. What do you usually order? What do you like?
I like hamburger.
Hamburgers. Just hamburgers? You don't like anything else?
I like shawarma, pizza, but I like a hamburger.
Hamburgers more?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see someone else. What about you, Nairuz? I think maybe because of work, maybe you eat a lot of fast food every day?
Maybe 2 or 3 times per week.
So twice or 3 times a week you eat you go to a fast food restaurant. And what do you usually have? What are the things you eat?
I also like burger.
Is it your favorite? Burger is your favorite?
Yes, my favorite, yes. And maybe shawarma, maybe.
Sometimes.
But not much, not too much.
I see.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes shawarma.
Okay. Who has fast food more than 3 times a week? Is there anybody who eats fast food? You?
But I have.
But what do you have? Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I think your connection is not very good. What did you say, Najat?
Because I'm out during the day. I'm out all the day. I'm out home.
So
it depends really on the fast food. But in dinner time, I have to cook.
I see. So dinner is at home, but lunch is out.
And breakfast.
Breakfast is also at home.
Yeah, out.
Okay. In number 4, the 4th question, it's asking, let's imagine you're in another country or you're traveling, maybe holiday, maybe you have work in another city or another country. How do you decide where to eat? So let's imagine we're not in Tripoli or not in Libya, for example, now. Let's imagine we're in Italy, okay? So how do we decide where to eat? Where do we go? How do we decide? What do you think? Who can tell me?
Italian restaurant.
About me, I like to try anything new. No problem with me.
So you can just go to any restaurant and just try the food.
Yes, yes.
But what if the restaurant
I like
is...
Chinese food. I like from Afghanistan or Pakistan and Indian food, and all things or Thai, all kinds of food. I like it.
And that's a good thing. I think that helps. If someone is traveling this way, you can eat anything,
No
right?
problem, يعني when yes.
That's great. I think we should all do this. It makes life easier, I think. But let's say, for example, that you're worried maybe the food is not very good. How can you check? Is there a way to check? Is there a way to find out? I'll give you a clue. Your cell phone, your mobile phone. What can you do with it?
Okay. Can you repeat the question?
The question is, how can you check or how can you know if a restaurant is good or not before you try it?
In Tunisia, there
Yes,
is
maybe
this,
there is
there is
apps.
this thing like bread. You enter the
See the rating on the internet.
Yes.
Using the internet,
searching
right?
on the Google or
on Google Maps,
Maps.
right? Because on Google Maps, usually you can find the list of
check from
restaurants in the area, and you can read the reviews. And most restaurants, they have a
good or
rating.
not.
Exactly, as you can see, is it 4 stars, 5? Is it clean?
Yes.
Is it dirty? Is it expensive? Is it cheap?
There's many comments about it.
Yeah, you'll find comments, you'll find reviews. Maybe they'll tell you the type of food, Italian, French, fast food, maybe Indian food, Chinese, Japanese. You know, you can find information. So I think this can help. Maybe with technology, we can decide what to eat, where to eat before we go. I think this is the point. All right, so before we read about Mr. Sanders here, there are a few words we need to check first. So a service station, what does this word mean? What do you think? A service station. Can anybody guess what this means? Service station?
محطة الخدمات.
Okay, yes, but what kind of service? أي نوع من الخدمات يا عبد الله؟
Food.
To pay food. Like counter or something.
But where do people usually need a service station? Where?
Add the oil.
Yes, at a petrol station or a gas station, right? So usually in I mean, not in Libya maybe, but in the other world, in the rest of the world, the rest of the modern world, usually when you have a petrol station, especially if it's on the motorway, usually there's a service station, right? Yes. So you can find the bathroom, you can find the restaurant, you can get coffee. If you're a family and you have children, you can change their nappies, you know, that kind of thing. In the rest of the world, in Europe and the US, these things are quite old, they're not new. So on the motorway, especially for travelers, people who are traveling by bus or by car, they can, you know, park, maybe check their car, fill up some petrol, fill up the car, check the oil. Maybe you have problems with the air pressure in your tires. You can check the air pressure. If it's a small mechanical problem, maybe someone can help. You can go to the bathroom, have a snack. This kind of thing, okay? So this is a service station. What does this mean, serve someone? What does it mean, serve someone? What do you think? By the way, serve is the verb of service. Service is the noun, serve is the verb. Where do people... I
think it's mean...
Yes, sorry, man.
Help something. Help someone.
To help someone, correct. But who are the people that usually serve other people. Where does this happen usually? What do you think?
Service station.
Well, this is an example in a service station. What else?
In a restaurant.
In a restaurant, right? Because this is the job of the waiter is to serve food, right?
Mhm.
That's why when we yes, right,
And oil station.
oil stations, yeah, maybe someone can serve you. So serve usually means like to offer something or to help, or this is the meaning of serve. So
At the wedding party and something.
yes, at the wedding party you can hire staff and cooks and waiters or waitresses in weddings usually, and they serve food, right? They give food to the guests. This is called serving the guests or serving someone, okay? So this is the meaning of serve. It's the verb of service. Service, serve. They're related to that. Develop, I think everybody knows develop. Do you know what it means to develop? Who can explain it in English? Develop. Let's see. Neiruz, can you explain?
Change from
Improve.
Neiruz, okay.
Okay, Neiruz said improve. Najat, what did you say? Did you say improve?
No.
Sorry? Improve. Okay. Any other synonyms? Can you think of any other words like develop? Develop, improve.
Yes.
Any other words which have the same meaning? Let's see someone else.
develop اختراع.
Yes, بالعربي يخترع أو يطور شيء جديد يعني. Right? I think even invent is okay. When you invent something, when you start something new, you can say develop, invent, and so on. Okay, this word, secret recipe.
Secret. Nobody knows about it.
Want.
Yeah.
Don't know what. Don't.
Nobody knows about it.
Yes, but what does this word mean? Recipe. Yes, Abdullah.
They don't give
The ingredient of
the composition or the way to make this recipe.
But what does recipe mean? This is the question. What does it mean, recipe? Who can tell me what it means?
Place.
A
place.
A place.
No.
I think a place.
In English. Who can explain recipe in English?
Oh, recipe. It's
the ingredient of some food.
The ingredients?
It's a type of cook. It's
how to make the something like
correct.
Cake or
yes.
When I make cake recipe.
How to do it?
Yes, correct. When you make a
I
cake,
need a recipe to do it.
That's right. When you make a cake, you need a recipe, right?
Yes.
So, and in a recipe, you have the ingredients, and you have the instructions, the way. So a recipe always has two parts, right? So in a recipe, you have these two parts. Let's write them. So you have ingredients, and you have the instructions.
Special ingredients.
Ingredients, it means the parts, Abdullah.
Special ingredients food.
So
Special ingredients food. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. So ingredients, for example, if I want to give you a recipe of how to make a cake, if I want you to, I can say, for example, you need eggs, flour, baking powder, sugar, oil, milk.
Oven.
You need an oven, of course. And the instructions, it means the steps, right? So I can tell you mix the eggs with the oil
Wait.
and the milk, the wet
How to
ingredients,
mix
and then you have the dry ingredients, the baking powder
the
and the
eggs
flour,
with sugar.
and you mix them, and then you put them in the oven for 35 minutes, and then you wait, and then you eat it. All right. So this is how to make a cake, right? So this is a recipe. So in this lesson, we're going to know why we're going to use this word, secret recipe. We'll find out. All right, so now they want us to read about here, Mr. Harlan Sanders. We're going to read about Mr. Sanders here. And after we read, we're going to put these events in order. So can you see A, B, C, D, E? Do you see this? Do you see this? These are events in his life, okay? Some of the things he did in his life, right? So after we read the article, after we read the story of Harlan Sanders, we're going to put these in the right order, okay? So you can see the first one is already answered. So do you see when he was born?
Mhm.
So very long ago, right? He was born in 1890. So how many years ago was this? 130 years ago, right? Is he still alive? Do you think he's still alive?
No, of course he's dead.
Okay, I'm just
No.
checking.
More than 100 years.
Yeah, this is 130 years. Okay.
Yes.
Now let's read about Harlan Sanders. Okay, let's start. So the man behind KFC. Okay, so take some time, read the story about this man. When you get here, just tell me, and I'll move the page. Okay. So you can start. Take some time. So you will start. Of course, you'll start here.
Okay.
Mhm.
ممكن تتحلي.
هي اقرا انت مش
Okay, let's move a little bit. Okay, who finished?
I finished.
Okay.
B.
Finished? Everybody finished?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Najat, have you finished? Okay, I think everybody finished. Hannah, have you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Let's answer this question. Let's put the story in the correct order. Let's put it in the correct order. So number one is this. He was born in 1890. What's the second thing in the story?
His father died.
Father died.
Correct. His father died. This is number two. Correct. After that, what happened?
He learned to
His
cook.
father died.
Yeah, number two, his father died. Correct. After his
learned
father died,
to cook.
he
He became the
learned to cook after his
Yes.
father died. Mhm.
He learned to cook.
Yeah. After that, what happened after
Learn
that?
to cook.
Became the manager of a
became the manager of a service station.
Right. Correct. He became the manager of a service station. Right. And after that?
He moved to a restaurant
He moved to a restaurant
Move a restaurant
across the street.
Correct. Uh-huh. And then?
and then he developed his secret recipe.
Right. He developed his secret recipe. Correct. Mm-hmm.
He traveled.
He told the KFC.
He sold the KFC company.
He sold
Yes.
the KFC company.
Right.
Connection.
Can you
And
hear
the
me?
last one,
KFC company.
And,
traveled
sometimes not.
250.
He traveled
How did you say it?
250,000
Yes.
miles.
correct. Yes. صوتي واضح الكل تسمع فيها واضح ولا يقطع؟
Yeah.
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 Okay, good.
Interrupted.
All right, so this is the story of Harlan Sanders. Now, it says here, read the article again, then answer these questions. Okay, first question, let's ask Selma. Selma, why did Harlan Sanders learn to cook, Selma? Why? Why did he learn to cook? Can you tell me, Selma, why he learned to cook? What's the reason? It's in the first part. Okay, Hannah, you can answer number one. Why did Harlan Sanders learn to cook? Hannah, why?
Because he looked after his younger brother and sister.
Yes, because he looked after. Correct. Yeah, because he looked after his brother and sister. Maybe he had to make food for them, right?
Yes.
So maybe he had to feed them. So, you know, he learned to cook. Okay. Now, question B. How long did it take him to develop his secret recipe, Abdullah? How long did it take him to develop his secret recipe? Can you remember how long?
I don't.
Yeah, how long did it take him to develop? What does secret recipe mean, Abdullah? What does it mean, secret recipe?
Again.
Secret recipe.
Secret. I don't.
secret recipe اللي هي الوصفة السرية بتاع الدجاج.
Yes.
Okay. هذه معنى secret recipe. And how long did it take him to develop it? يعني قداش قاعد يطور فيها؟
9 over 9.
Right, over 9 years.
Yeah.
Can you see this, Abdullah?
Yes.
Can you read the sentence, please?
Over the next 9 years, he developed the secret chicken recipe that made him famous.
Yes. يعني على فترة ال9 سنين هذه قاعد يطور في الوصفة متاع الدجاج متاعه, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, question C. When did the first official KFC restaurant open? Let's see. What do you think, Suhaib? When did the first KFC restaurant open? When was this? Which year?
August 1952.
All right, correct. In August 1952, that's when the first official KFC restaurant opened. Yeah. Okay, and how old was Harlan when he sold the company, Suhaib? How old?
I think 52.
Yes, Suhaib? How old do you think? Which year did he sell?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah,
it's clear.
Okay, here's the question. How old was Harland when he sold the company? Can you see the question? Can you see it? هل صوتي واضح ولا يقطع؟
I don't hear you.
اوكي الباقيين تقدروا تسمعوني؟ صوتي واضح؟
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Abdullah, question D. Can you see question D?
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes,
Abdullah. And Suhaib. Yeah, how old was he?
Age 90.
Age 90. This is when he died, right? But we want the age when he sold the company. Did he sell the company after he died?
15.
6 years later,
74
he bought
about.
KFC for 2 million. Yes, 2 million.
Not how much, Suhaib.
He sold
بش
How
المبلغ.
millions.
How old?
Uh, 68, I think, or 62. I'm
هم
not
أصلاً-
good at the math.
Suhaib.
74 maybe.
50.
Okay.
74.
Born in 1980.
Correct. 1890, you mean? He was born in 1890.
90.
Okay, so we have a little bit of maths. He was born
Yes.
in 1890, okay,
And died in 1980.
and died in 1980, right?
This is 90.
So he died when he was 90, but he sold the company in which year did he sell it? In 1964. He sold the company in 1964. So
1890.
Suhaib, how old is he, or how old was he? How old was Harland Sanders in 1964? How old was he? What do you think?
$62.
No?
He born in
90.
1890.
Yeah,
74.
yes. 74.
I used the calculator. I'm not good at it.
74.
Yes.
Yes. يعني مجرد تحسبها بس 10 سنين قبل ال 64 والباقي خلاص زيدوا 64, right? It's not very hard, I think. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. وضحت الفكرة.
Yeah.
but my internet is very slow.
Yes.
I'm sorry, yes. Maybe
This
because of your internet.
interrupted some letters. Didn't hear.
Okay. So this is the question D. So Harland was 74 years old. All right. Now, in the last question, who bought KFC?
What happened?
Sorry. What happened in 1980? What happened?
Died.
He died. Right. But 90 years is not bad. 90 years is good, I think. Right?
Yes.
Okay. And let's see, Nairuz, are you there? Nairuz is there. Okay, Hana.
FTTO bought KFC.
Correct. صح صحيح. PepsiCo bought KFC in 1986. Hana?
These two subject questions.
Yeah. The last two are subject questions. Correct. Hana, معنا? Can you hear us?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, can you answer
Yes.
the last question? Who bought KFC? Who bought KFC in 1986?
90.
Yeah, in 1986. Who bought KFC?
Who bought? They are now.
Here, I'll show you where to look. So look here, okay?
Where?
In this paragraph here.
I don't watch.
Can you see the book? Can you see the book?
No.
You can't see. مش طلع لك الكتاب؟
لا. Okay. Okay. Where?
In this box. Can you see the red box?
Yes.
Okay, the answer is here. I want you to look for what happened. Oh, sorry. Who bought KFC in 1960? In 1986. Who bought KFC? لقيتها؟
North America?
No. Do you know what the question means? Who bought KFC?
Who bought
KFC؟ إيش معناها who bought KFC؟
كيف كان يبيع ولا كم يبيع؟ أوكي.
لا، من اللي اشترى الشركة، من شراها.
بيبسي كولا.
Yes.
KFC.
Correct. يعني شركة البيبسي هي اللي اشترت KFC في 86. Right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So now we have some information about KFC, the company, and the man behind the company. So we know about the company here. Let's do a little bit of grammar in exercise number 3 here. So let's talk about the past simple. All right. So now we want to go back to the article, but this time we don't want to talk about Harland, Sanders, or KFC. We want to talk about regular verbs, irregular verbs, the past of verb to be, and the past of can. All right, so let's start with regular verbs. Let's look for the past simple of regular verbs in the article. Can you find them? I want regular verbs now. Only regular verbs.
Learned.
Correct?
In the article.
In the article.
Okay.
One of them is learned.
Learned, stayed.
And stayed, right?
When?
Yes.
Left.
Left and stayed are the
left irregular.
Irregular. What about
worked? Worked.
Needed.
Worked. Where's worked?
Started.
لا, only the bold ones.
Only in bold.
Yes,
Yeah.
you forgot. You missed one.
Only in bold.
Yes,
bold.
learned to state.
In bold.
In bold اللي هو اللي بالخط العريض فقط. In bold. So we have stayed, we have learned.
Learned to state.
Let's check the question. ممكن يبدو حتى النيجاتيف. Okay, even negatives.
Didn't have. No.
Also negatives of regular verbs.
Didn't open.
Correct. صح سلمى. Didn't open. هذا واحد منهم. Because open is a regular verb, right?
Started.
Started. Where's started? No. صهيب بالنسبة only in bold هم بالخط العريض فقط. Can you see them? دكنات هذول.
The 13th.
خلاص مان. Didn't open. Okay, that's it. Okay, next question. معناها بالنسبة للregular we had, let's write them here. So for regular we had stayed and learned and didn't open, right? Now, what about regular verbs? Let's look for the regular verbs. Irregular, I mean, sorry, irregular.
Left.
Left, correct.
Well, wasn't.
But
Didn't
wasn't
have.
its verb to be?
Didn't have.
Correct. Didn't have.
Went.
Went and left. Where's went? Went, correct.
And could.
Could بروحها.
Could and where. Where.
These are not irregular verbs. Were تعتبر verb to be and could تعتبر past of can. So this means we only have didn't have, went and left, right? So let's write them. Didn't, left, and we have went, and the third one didn't have, right? Okay, now let's find verb to be, the past of verb to be. Let's look for the past of verb to be.
Wasn't.
Wasn't. Was, wasn't, correct?
Was.
Was, wasn't. What else?
Were.
Where's where? Where is it, where? We don't have where.
We don't have here.
Yeah. Sorry, Hannah, what did you say?
Just was.
Yeah, just was and wasn't. We only have was and wasn't. Okay, okay, yes. So we have بالنسبة لي verb to be, we have was and wasn't. Was and wasn't. All right. Now let's look for the past of can. Where's the past of can?
Could and couldn't.
We have couldn't. Like, do we have could?
Yes.
Where's could?
After couldn't.
So, correct? You're right.
He could.
Second paragraph.
Yeah, he could serve and Harlan couldn't serve, right?
Yes.
So we have could and couldn't. That's also correct.
Couldn't.
Yeah, let's write it here. Could and couldn't. All right. So now we found all the verbs, the regular verbs, stayed, learned, didn't open, irregular verbs, left, went, didn't have, and we also have the past of verb to be, was, wasn't, and we have the past of can, could, couldn't, right? So now we found all the verbs, we can do part B. Let's check part B. It says, look again at the verbs in bold in the article. So let's take a look. So the question now is about these verbs. Okay, so let's see the question. What does it say? How do we make the past simple positive of regular verbs? And is there a rule for irregular verbs? Okay, how do we change a verb from present to past? If it's regular, what do we do for regular verbs? Do we do?
ED.
Yeah.
ED. Add ED.
We add ED, right? Just ED. But sometimes we also add D, right?
I-E-D.
Just D.
D. Yes.
Correct, IED, like study. Study,
If it's-
studied. IED, right?
If the word ends with Y.
So sometimes we add ed, sometimes we add ied. But which words do we add d, only d?
End with E.
Yes, correct. In words which end with e, we just add d, right? Okay, so very good. So in general, we add d or ed or ied. This is for regular verbs, right? But what about irregular verbs? Do we have a rule for irregular verbs?
No.
No.
Correct. There's no rule, right? Leave, left, go, went, have, had. ملهمش علاقة ببعض, right? So there's no rule. For irregular verbs, there is no rule. You just have to remember them. You have to practice them, get used to them. But there's nothing you can do because there's no rule. You can also put them in groups. This makes it easier to remember. So you can put the shall, should, can, could, will, would. This is together. And you can put catch, caught, buy, bought, bring, brought, teach, taught, seek, sought. You can put them together, right? You get the idea. So
verb is double the end.
I think doubling the end usually with ing. Swim, swimming, box, not boxing.
No, I think like stop.
Stop, stopped, correct. Some of them we double the end, correct, yeah. If it's usually we double the end if it's a voiceless consonant. في العادة. Voiceless consonant.
Vowel between
vowel between consonants. I think vowel between consonants, this is when you add IED. For example, like study, we need to change it to IED, but I think there's another verb with Y. I can't think of a verb with Y, but fly, flight, flight.
I think married.
Married, marry زي study نفس القصة. I can't remember it now. بس في قاعدة اللي هي مثلا نفسها اللي هي في النouns اللي هي البلورال. For example, like toy, toys, just an S, but there's the other word with Y, and you have to change it. Keys. Yes, sorry, which one?
With a plural.
Yeah, plural where we change into IES. Candy, candies, for example. Candy, we change it to candies, IES, right? In plural. Let me write it here. So, for example, candy, in plural, candies, right?
Like focus and foci.
Latin, براحة. Cactus, cacti. هذول هم plural Latin. لاتينيات هذول. مش English. So candy becomes candies, but for example, boy, what's the plural of boy?
Don't change it.
Boys. Just S.
Yeah, why? Why did we change IES in the first one, but with boys we didn't? The same thing with toy.
Because before Y was a consonant.
Oh.
Same thing with toys, right?
Because O. الحروف المتحركة يعني before.
Vowel. You mean there's a vowel?
Vowels, yes.
Correct. Because here before the Y, there's a vowel.
Oh.
But here before the Y, there's a consonant.
D.
Yeah. The same thing with marry, study, married, studied, we change it. بس في كان هو I'm trying to think of a verb which has a vowel before the Y. مريح مني تمام. Anyways, let's go back to our topic. So, الملخص with the past simple, if it's regular, we add D or ED or IED. These are for regular verbs, okay? This is for regular verbs. Irregular verbs, we don't have a rule. ما فيش قاعدة واضحة. We don't have a rule. Now, second question. How do we make the past simple negative? What do we add?
Not.
Add
Add not.
wasn't or didn't.
Didn't. We just add didn't, right?
Didn't.
For example, open, didn't open.
And the verb in the infinitive.
And the verb, of course, you have to leave the verb in infinitive, right? Sorry? Yeah, you have to leave the verb in infinitive. So open, didn't open. Have, what's the negative? What's the negative of have?
Didn't have.
Hadn't.
Didn't have.
Didn't have. Didn't
Yes.
have, right? What about go? What's the negative?
Went.
Correct. Went.
Didn't go.
No, didn't go. Went اللي هي في البوزيتيف. خشتها بعضها. Okay.
Didn't have.
So we have past simple negative. هذا المطلوب تو في الاكسرسايز. اوكي. انا حنعطيكم infinitives. وبنخلط لكم باش نبي نشوفكم منتبهين ولا لا. بنخلط لكم يعني past وinfinitives لكن بيكم تعطوني only the past simple negatives, okay? Past simple negative. Okay, went.
Didn't go.
Correct. صح. Learn.
Didn't learn.
Didn't
Didn't
learn.
learn.
Yeah, study.
Didn't start.
Didn't study.
Bought.
Didn't buy.
Didn't buy.
Very nice, very good. Leave.
Didn't leave.
Didn't leave.
Left.
Didn't
leave.
Okay. طيب منتبهين طلعتوا كويس. Alright, okay. So هذا اللي يسأل عليه الجزء الأول من السؤال مجرد طريقة العمل النيجاتيف. فما فيهاش أي موضوع صعب أعتقد. مجرد أن نديروا لها didn't. That's all. Just didn't. Nothing else. Okay? So the past simple negative is kind of easy. We just put didn't with the infinitive. That's all. All right? But here, the second part of the question is interesting because now we want to know the past simple of verb to be. What's the past simple of verb to be?
Was where.
Was
where.
And the negative past simple?
Wasn't. Weren't.
That's it. Right? Or wasn't weren't. صح. Yeah, wasn't and went. What about can? What's the past simple of can?
Could.
Can't.
The past simple, Najat, past.
The energy today is low.
Okay, so the past is could. This is in the positive, and in the negative?
Sometimes.
What about the negative?
Couldn't.
Yeah, couldn't. All right. يعني تقدروا تعتبروه هذا نوعا ما مراجعة شاملة لقصة الباست simple سواء كان regular سواء irregular سواء كنتم مستعملين verb to be or can. All right. And of course in the book on page 100 and let me show you 176 you have the list of verbs. Let me show you. Can you see this list? You can find this list in your book, by the way. You don't have to memorize all of them, of course. But I think maybe the common ones اللي هم الشائعات مفروض يعني تعرفوهم. مثلا على سبيل المثال be, verb to be, we have was, were, right? مثلا buy, bought, can, could, right? Do, did, drink, drank, drive, drove, eat, ate. شو تاني؟ هذا مش شائعات هلبة مثلا get, got, go, went, have had يعني على مجرد نسمي في عشوائيين يعني نسمي في اللي نحس فيهم يعني common شائعات. Say, said, maybe. Speak, spoke. Teach, taught, think, thought. Wake, woke, understand, understood. Right? يعني مش ضروري زي ما حكيت لكم يعني مش مطلوب حفظهم صم، لكن مجرد الاطلاع عليهم كويس يساعد يعني يذكركم، خصوصا لو انتم يعني عندكم عليهم فكرة من قبل. So it's a good thing if you can review them, okay? So this is the tip. يعني هذه كانت الملاحظة أن عندكم list في نهاية الكتاب. There is an irregular verb list. You can check it. You can take a look at the common verbs. Maybe practice them a little bit. Okay? All right, now in part C, how do we usually make past simple questions? All right, so who can give me a question using the past simple? Any question you want. Let's make some questions using the past simple.
Did you start the lesson? Did you start?
Okay, this is an okay question. Did you start the lesson? What kind of question is this? It's correct, by the way, but what kind of question, Najat?
Yes, no.
صح صحيح. Exactly. It's a yes, no question. Because what's the answer to this question? How do we answer it?
Yes, I did, or no, I didn't.
That's it. Because we only have two answers. Yeah, Emma, yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
Or if it's negative, we say, yes,
No, I
did. Or no, I didn't, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay, Neiruz, can you give me a question, another past simple question, but this time I don't want a yes, no question. I want a WH question.
How long did you finish the lesson? Or how did...
I think this is a better question.
How long did you...
How long is a better question for present perfect. أعتقد أحسن present perfect. فوتي الهاو. جربي حاجة بالwhere ولا what. Easier. Choose where or what.
Or when did you start?
Or when.
Where did you leave 2 years ago? Yes, where did you leave 2 years ago?
Is it leave? Where did you leave or where did you live?
Where did you live?
Leave or live?
Where did you live?
Live or leave?
Leave, yes. Live, يعني live.
Okay, correct. Where did you live to?
يعني يعيش. Where did you live?
Good question. Where did you live 2 years ago? Very nice. How can we answer this question? نشوفوا حد تاني يجاوب. Abdullah, how do you answer this question? Where did you live 2 years ago? How can you answer this question, Abdullah? This question is for you. Where did you live 2 years ago?
I lived in
صح؟ كمل.
Sabah.
Oh, good.
I lived in Sabah.
That's it. I lived in Sabha. Right? That's it.
Yes.
This is an example of سؤال الأول هو yes no question, correct? And this is a WH question. And this is an answer, positive answer, correct? And these are short answers with yes, short answer with no. Okay, so we did number 1. So we made the question. لكن تو هم أعتقد السؤال هامهم parts of the question. How is it formed? So let's analyze the question. So if we want to make a WH question, what do we use? Let's make a little table. So let's write the first question. Where and then we have did, and the subject is you, and the infinitive is live. So let's analyze the question 2 years ago. All right. So what do we call where? What's this? شو يسموه فيها where?
Question word.
Correct. Correct. Question word. WH question word. Correct. All right. So the first thing we have the WH question. Oh, well, a question word. What's why? Okay. After that, what's this? We have
Auxiliary.
yeah, the auxiliary did.
Auxiliary.
Because this is past simple, so it means we only have one auxiliary. What's the auxiliary we use in past simple? What is it?
Yes.
Did, right? هذا الauxiliary
Only
فقط الإنسان only did.
Yes.
After did, what do we use? The subject. Yeah, the subject pronoun. ضمير.
Subject.
Yeah, مش لازم منها pronoun ضيف. Okay, after the subject we use verb. والverb دائما يكون في أما صيغة.
And present.
Main verb.
infinitive. طبعا هذا المين verb
Infinitive.
بالضبط. والباقي اليوم يسموه فيها complement. مكملة. Infinitive, correct. The verb has to be in the infinitive. All right? Complement. مكمل الجملة. Yes, correct. All right. هذا طبعا بالنسبة لل past simple. Now, what about verb to be? Excuse me. Verb to be in the بالنسبة ل verb to be in the past. Who can give me a question? Verb to be in the past. Was and where. Let's start with a yes/no question. Let's check. Hannah, are you there?
Yes.
Can you give me a yes/no question with verb to be in the past?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where was you born?
باي 80% صح. في حاجة تبي تغيير. هنعوده كويس. سؤال مهم هذا. It's a very important question. Let's use it again. When صح.
When was you born?
Okay. You born. Can you change was?
Was.
Can you change it with something else?
Where.
Very good. Where is correct. But why is it correct? علاش الوير هي اللي صحيحة والواز مش صحيحة هنا؟ Why?
Was single. Was ما تمشيش مع اليوم.
بالضبط. صح. When do we use was? مع من? How do we use was?
مع I والشي والهي.
Excellent. والit. Correct. صح.
Yeah.
All right. How do you answer this question? Selma, for example, how do you answer this question? When were you born? How do you answer it?
I was born.
Correct. I was born in 1965. For example, right? You can use any year, but you have to say I was born. Of course, in the question we say when were you born? Okay, who can give me another WH question? سؤال تاني WH question. Was or where?
Can I ask the question?
Yes, go ahead, Suhaib.
Where were he yesterday?
Okay. Where were he yesterday. نفس الشيء، في حاجة نبغى نغيرها. شو بتغير يا صاحبي؟
Where was?
Very good.
Where was he yesterday?
Excellent. And how do you answer this question? How do you answer it?
I was in house.
But the question is not about you, it's about him.
Yes.
معناها كيف بيجاوب؟ بندوا عليه محمد، احنا مش حندوا عليك.
He was in the house.
That's it. He was at home. He was at home.
Oh, no.
Very good. Okay. Who can give me a yes/no question using verb to be? Abdullah, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me a yes/no question using was or were?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, Abdullah, you have to start the question with was or were.
Yes. What was
If you say what was, this is a WH question. It's not a yes/no question. So if you want to use a yes/no question, you have to say, for example,
when was you eat the burger?
Okay, no, you can't use when. For yes/no questions, ما فيش when.
Yes. Was you eat a burger?
تمام، لكن الواز هل نستعملوها مع اليو؟ الواز ما تمشيش مع اليو صح؟
Yes. Was eat a burger.
اوكي، were you؟ تمام، لكن شو بيجي بعدها؟
Were you where you travel?
هل يمشي الحال نديروا where you travel? Is it correct?
Yeah.
Correct or not correct, this one?
Not correct.
Why?
Correct.
What's the problem?
Was
verb to be.
travel.
It's a verb.
صح. Yes. ال was and were مستحيل يتلاقوا مع الأفعال الثانية, right? It's like
Yes.
so here travel this is Real Madrid and where this is Barcelona. مش حتلقوهم في نفس المكان. Never, okay?
We can say where you at
travelers.
home where you
Travel.
were you at home yesterday?
تمام, we can say at home. Were you at home yesterday? يعني نقدر نستعملوا noun home ماشي الحال. Right? Or we can say, we can use an adjective. Where are you? Can you give me an adjective? Can you think of an adjective, Abdullah? أعطيني أي صفة.
Okay. Where you
واحد فرحان كيف تقول عليه؟
Happy.
happy.
Yeah. Were you happy?
Were you happy
last week?
last week?
هو ماشي الحال. معناها مع الverb to be ما تقدروش تستعملوا أفعال بعدها، ما يمشيش الحال. تقدروا تستعملوا nouns. You can use a noun. Okay, that's okay. You can use an adjective. That's okay. Or you can use ing. اللي هي بيصبح اللي هو past continuous بيتغير ما عادش نفس الشيء. Were you traveling last month مثلا. Right? So travel ممنوع منعا باتا. Travel لا because travel is an infinitive ما يمشيش الحال. لكن traveling بالING أصبحت gerund. طبعا الجيرند يعتبر زي noun في المعاملة في الجرامر it's like a noun. فtraveling شبه محل زي at home يعني نوعا ما تعتبر noun. Okay? And how do we answer questions like this? How do we answer them? لو حد
Yes or no?
Yeah. So we say yes I
were.
yes I شنو نستعمله مع ال I?
Yes, I was.
Good. Yes I was or
No, I wasn't.
وإلا no I wasn't. Right? Yes I was, no I wasn't. Okay? So if we want to use the table, okay, before we use the table, let's check questions. Where is it? Here. Question E and F. Different from A to C. Okay. I think you answered this, Najat, earlier, but I don't want you to answer it again. Okay, let's see this group. Now, this question, whoever answers it will get a chocolate. And I'll give him a star. كراسة ندير star.
Which one?
ولو جاوب السؤال من غير أي غلطة نضيف له حتى قلب. Okay? So, this is the question. The question is, what's the difference? We have all of these questions. I want to know what's the difference between the first 4 questions and this question. These 2 questions. What's the difference? هنحطهم في لون تاني.
I already answered.
Yeah, but they didn't hear you and don't answer it again. Let's see.
I need a star.
Okay, you can have a star. Let's give you a star.
Okay.
So the star is for Najat.
Star.
Okay. Now, who can answer this question? What's the difference?
Me.
Abdullah, Suhaib, yes, go ahead. شنو الفرق؟
The first question was asked for the subject.
Okay, which one? أنا هو اللي أسأل على subject.
The fourth question.
اللي هو how old هذا؟
لا the third question.
هذا when did
and the E and F was asked about object item.
هو شوف هما ال A B C D كلهم زي بعض باي يسأل عليه نفس الشيء ال A B C D لكن ال E ال F مختلفات عليهم يسأل عليه حاجة تانية. Do you get the idea؟ يعني ما فيش اختلاف بين ال A وال B أغلبهم نفس الشيء لكن ال E الاختلاف اللي هو بين ال E وال F.
The verb.
What about the verb? خير الverb.
In the past. The verb in the past.
بقى وش المشكلة؟ صح هو كلامك. What's the problem? Can we put the verb in the past? Can we put the verb in the past in a question? هل مسموح ولا غير مسموح حسب القاعدة؟
Yes.
لا مش قبل كنا نقوله what did you do last night؟ ما نقدرش نقول what did you did صح ولا؟ We have to say what did you do. لو في الأسئلة العادية مثلا شوف لاحظ لو تلاحظ اللي هم الأسئلة العادية لولا كلها infinitive صح؟ شوفها learn, develop,
Yes.
when did the first official open, when he لا هذا بروحها how old.
It's passive.
Which one is passive?
E and
Not passive. لا مش passive. انت بكري تجاوبتها قبل شوية. هنشوفه نيروز. نيروز, what's the difference? What do you think between question E and F and the other questions?
I think here because we're asking about the subject.
Okay, how?
And E and F asking about the subject.
But how?
That's why we...
Okay, what's the answer of A, question E? لما نجاوبوه كيف بنجاوبوه؟
We answered with the subject.
And what's the answer? Give me the answer, please. So what happened
Like
in 1980? What happened?
died.
Arnold Sanders died.
Correct. Where's the subject in this answer? Harlan Sanders died. Okay, so Harlan Sanders died. الإجابة صحيحة لكن بدك تفهميني كيف قصة subject. Can you explain it? What do you mean by subject?
يعني the reason of this question, or how can I say, like in question F.
Okay.
It asks about the company يعني
صح.
the name يعني asking
name.
about yes the name.
The name اللي هو يعتبر subject صح?
Subject, yes.
So when we say PepsiCo bought KFC, so where's the subject in this question?
PepsiCo.
صح. باهي لو منحولوا لي سؤال، لو منحولوا لي object question كيف حيولي؟ Okay, I'll give you a star. تبي تحصي نجمة واحدة. لكن ما فيش قلب لين تجاوبي الثانية دي. الجزء الثاني معقد شوي. All right, now correct. What he said is correct. E and F are subject questions, صح? Correct. Okay. But now I want a question. I'll show you what I want. Do you see? Okay. I want a question which the answer is this. This is the answer. Bought KFC. What's the question?
Can I try?
Yes, you can try.
When
Salma, okay.
When PepsiCo bought KFC.
Okay, خلينا نكتبوا هذا. Can you say it again? When
PepsiCo.
You forgot something, but هيا نكملوا. Okay. Pep. تمام.
When
PepsiCo bought KFC.
By KFC.
By KFC.
When did?
When
أيوة. Okay, this is a good question. هو مش هو اللي نبي لكن ماشي الحال. When did PepsiCo buy KFC? أنت جاوبتيني اللي هو السنة. تمام. كويس قربتي. نعطوك نجمة أنت. المجهود بس مش السؤال ينبوه. But you get a star, which is good. Now, I want a question about bought KFC.
What
Okay.
what PepsiCo buy
Or
Okay.
what did PepsiCo
buy in 1986?
Very good. What لكن صلحي شوي السؤال.
did
Yeah.
PepsiCo buy in 1986?
Yeah. What did PepsiCo buy in 1986? Very good. What did PepsiCo buy? It bought KFC. هذا تو object question اللي متعودين عليهم الأولاد صح لا؟ الطريقة العادية اليوم. It bought KFC. This is an object question. لكن السؤال F, who bought KFC? This is an object question. All right? Subject, sorry, يسأل على الفاعل زي ما قلت. Subject question. What did PepsiCo buy? شنو شرت الKFC.
Action.
اللي هو الأكشن أو المفعول به object. Yeah. Okay, so Selma also gets a heart. Star and a heart. Very good, Selma. Okay, so كان التركيز هنا على subject questions and object questions. This is the difference.
Object.
All right, let me show you the summary. خلينا نشوفوا الموجز أو الملخص في الموضوع هذا. Let's take a look. نشوفوا لو في أي ملاحظات تانية. Let's take a look together. Okay, so here we have, this is the past simple. Of course, we use the past simple to talk about the past. طبعا ملحوظة مهمة جدا هذه بعدين بنلقاها بتفيدنا. We know when things happened. This is very, very, very important. We know when. Because later, when we'll study لما حنقرأ the present perfect, one of the biggest differences between the past simple and the present perfect is with the past simple, we know when something happened. Do you understand? We know exactly when. The time is known. We know when. With the present perfect, we don't really know when. Okay? So this is important. يعني تبان ملحوظة مش مهمة بس مهمة. All right, so هذا اللي تكلمنا عليه. How to change regular verbs, we add ed. If the verb ends with e, we just add d. Live, lived, die, died. If we have a consonant plus y, it will change ied, study, studied, marry, married. Doubling of the last letter. This happens if you have consonant, vowel, consonant, زي ما قال صهيب. Consonant, vowel, consonant. We double the last letter. There are no rules for irregular verbs, of course. We also talked about this. This is a negative of past simple. We just use didn't. His mother didn't have much money. It didn't open until August. They didn't know what to do. So we just put didn't. WH questions. أيضا حتى جاوبنا بطريقة صحيحة. We use the question word, the auxiliary did, the subject, the infinitive, and the complement. The yes, no questions. واضح حتى هو short answers. يا إما yes I did, no I didn't. لكل subjects نفس الشيء فيش أي تغيير. سواء he, she, it, I, we, they نفس الطريقة. Okay, so we just use did and didn't. That's all. Okay. اوكي هذه ملاحظة الأولى. أول ملاحظة على قصة subject questions. Okay, Hannah, can you please read this tip? What does it say?
Okay.
We don't use it when we ask about the subject of the sentence. Who lived in Bangkok? Not who did live in Bangkok.
بالضبط. هذا يعني أن subject questions زي اللي درناهم اللي هو في F و E و F لو تركزوا ما فيش لو لاحظتوا ما كانش فيهم auxiliary صح؟ Did you remember؟
Yes.
نعرفش لو تتذكروا.
Yes.
There are
Yes.
no auxiliaries.
Because he asking about the name here. Who lived in Bangkok?
Yeah, we're asking about the subject. ما فيش داعي لاستخدام auxiliary.
Did.
يعني اللي حتلاحظوه في subject question مش حيمشي بنفس النظام هذا اللي هو question word auxiliary subject infinitive. No, it's different. Here they are. لا هذا verb to be. خلينا نشوف verb to be لو في أي ملاحظات. بلا 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 بلا. أوكي ما فيش أي ملاحظات. خلينا نشوف تقص subject questions 1.2. Let's take a look. Okay, here it is. هذا موضوعنا. Subject questions. Can you see these questions?
Yes.
Right?
It's object question.
Yeah. This is an object question. اللي هو يعني هذا sentence, sorry, positive sentence. This is another positive sentence. Now, this is a subject question because it asks about the subject. Who made the TV series? Who lives in Paris? Right? But a non-object question, or the question يسأل عن object, what did Mike Benton make? Where did Sarah Mead live? Right? So, طبعا هذا تكلمنا عليه لكن مجرد تذكير. So, non-subject questions ask about the object, okay? But subject questions, they ask about the subject, okay? فهذه الفكرة باختصار. Okay, so this means we can do the exercise now. I think it's clear. Let's do the next exercise. All right, so it says, find the past simple of these verbs in the article about KFC. Okay, we don't need to look at the article. I think we can do it without checking. Okay, I'm going to read the verb and I want you to give me the past simple. Die.
Died.
Died.
Need.
Needed.
Needed.
Correct. Work.
Worked.
Have.
Had.
Become.
Became.
Start.
Started.
Stop.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Come.
Came.
Decide.
Decided.
Decided. Develop.
Developed.
Make.
Made.
Sell.
Sold.
Continue.
Sold.
What about continue?
Continued.
Continued. Regular, right? It's just
Yes.
D.
Yes.
Visit.
Visited.
Travel.
Travel.
Buy.
Boat.
Right. Okay. Now let's put a circle or a box around the irregular verbs. Which ones are irregular?
Irregular. Hats.
Make.
Okay.
Become.
Come.
Make. Sell.
Correct.
Buy.
Yes. Come. Correct. Sell. Correct. So have, become, come, sell, make, by. These are irregular. Okay. Now we have a very interesting story about the Michelin brothers. Do you know the Michelin company? Do you know the Michelin company?
No, I don't know.
Do you know the company that makes tires? Michelin? Let me show you. I think it's very famous. Here. Do you know this company?
Yes. By this,
Yeah.
that man.
Yeah. Do you know the
Yes.
tire man?
Make wire.
Yeah, they make tire. I think every Libyan family, we have at least one Michelin man in the family, right?
Yes.
One fat person like this in the family, Michelin man.
Mm.
Okay, so this is the company. It's called Michelin or Michelin in French. Michelin. Anyways, this is the company. We're going to learn about this company or the history about this company, okay? Because this company did something very smart, and we'll find out what they did. Can you see them? The two brothers, André
Yes.
and Edouard Michelin. These are the two brothers who started the company, okay? So I want you to read about the story of these two smart brothers. And of course, you have to change the verbs. Can you see the verbs in the brackets? So in every verb, they will give you verbs, they will put it in the brackets, but of course you have to change it to the past because this is an old story. It's in the past, it's finished. So we have to use the past simple, right? So I want you to take a few minutes. I want you to complete all the gaps and then we'll check them together, okay? Sometimes you have negative, by the way. Can you see here? This is negative.
Yes.
Also, this is negative, right? This is negative. So you have to check. Is it positive or is it negative, okay? So take a few minutes and when you finish, just tell me that you finished, okay?
Yes, I finished.
Okay. Anyone else finished?
Finish.
Everybody finished?
Yes,
Yes.
All right, excellent. Okay, so maybe we can try to divide it into parts so more than one person can read. Okay, so let's divide it here. Let's divide it here. And maybe divide it here. Okay. Okay, Abdullah, you can start with the first part, the first paragraph, Abdullah. You can start.
Michelin started the Michelin company. In French, they developed a new tire for bicycles, and then they made and sold tires for cars.
All right, very nice. So they developed a new tire and they made and sold tires for cars. Okay, nice. Okay. Hannah, can you do the second part?
Yes. In 1900, in 1900, there were about 3,000 cars in France, and people went to travel around the country, but travel by car in these days weren't easy. People hadn't run maps, so they hadn't cannot plan their journeys, and they didn't work where they could find service station or restaurant.
Okay, now let's go back again. Let's go back, okay? Number 6. What's this verb? Can you read it again? This verb, Hannah?
Number 6, people went to travel around the country.
Yeah, but this is not go. ومش كاتب لك go. كاتب لك want.
Want.
What's the past?
Wanted. Wanted.
Correct. تمام. Okay, wanted. What about number 7?
Number 7, not be, weren't.
Okay. But here احنا اللي بتديري لها البي اللي هي traveling. ما تشوفيش للdays. عرفتي الفكرة؟ شوفي اللي traveling.
Wasn't.
Correct. Correct. Wasn't is correct. Oops.
Not have people.
Wasn't.
People haven't.
كيف نديروا النيجاتيف؟ كيف اتفقنا طريقة عمل النيجاتيف في الباست سيمبل؟
في الباست سيمبل didn't have.
أيوة. Okay. Didn't what?
Didn't have. Didn't had.
Do we change the other verb or do we leave it in infinitive?
Infinitive.
معناها didn't
didn't have.
أيوة. Okay. So they
couldn't.
Correct.
Couldn't plan their jury and they not now. Don't know.
In the past?
Didn't know.
Right.
Didn't know.
Correct. Where they could. Okay, Najat. Did I say Najat? Najat, can you please read the second one again, the one that we answered?
Okay. In 1900, there were about 3,000 cars in France, and people wanted to travel around the country. But traveling by car in those days wasn't easy. People didn't have road maps, so they couldn't plan their journeys, and they didn't know where they could find service stations or restaurants.
Thanks. Okay, great. All right, now third paragraph. Neeruz, can you read the third paragraph?
Okay. Of course, the Michelin brothers wanted people to travel more because they needed to sell more tires. They wrote the first Michelin guide in 900, but the famous star system didn't start until 1926.
Okay, what did you answer in 14?
14 wrote.
Okay, very good. All right.
Wrote.
Correct. Nice. Okay, Selma, you can read the last part. Please, can you read the last part, Selma?
Okay. Michelle now sells over 20 million good
guide
books and maps in more than 70 countries. There are only 81 three-star restaurants in the world, and 26 of them are in France.
Correct. Very nice. Okay.
The last one is not realized.
هل سمعتوا بيه اللي هو السيستم اللي هو الميشلان ستارز؟ سامعين بيه او في حد مر عليه الموضوع؟ Okay, read about this. Very very interesting. Michelin star system اسمه. هذا طبعا مطاعم اللي هم زي ما نقولوا الفايف ستارز بالنسبة للفنادق. في المطاعم عندهم تصنيف اللي هو ميشلين ستار سيستم. المطاعم اللي عندها 3 ستارز هذه نخبة النخبة يعني. The top of the top. باش المطعم يحصل نجمة واحدة معاناة طبعا لازم يكون تقييم دقيق جدا زي الايلتس للمطاعم هذا الميشلين ستار سيستم. Okay, but read about it on Google. It's a very interesting story. فالغريب في الموضوع يعني ممكن شنو علاقة تايرز وعجل بموضوع مطاعم لكن ده هو هذا يعني التصنيف الرسمي لموضوع المطاعم Michelin star system. Okay, so this is the story of the Michelin brothers. In our next lesson, we will maybe talk a little bit about the past simple, some of the things we did at the weekend, and we'll talk about the past continuous. So we'll talk about the relationship between the past continuous and the past simple. And we'll also talk about the positive and the negative. We'll do some questions. So this is in our next lesson. And we'll also talk about the weak forms. Because in the weak form, we have the sound, the schwa sound. So we'll talk about this in our next lesson. So that's all for tonight. Thank you for your time. And I'll see you on...
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome. I'll see you on Thursday. Okay?
Yeah, Thursday.
You're welcome. Have a good night and take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.